welcome to the show. We at Trucking Life welcome you all. Now, pull that rig over, hit the head, grab a drink and snack, settle in, and let's get this show on the road. And now, your host.
Yeah, that's right. It's me, everybody. Hello. Let's see. Hey there, Mr. Jackson, Lori Leach. Hey, everybody. How you doing on this wonderful, well, where we're at, rainy Sunday morning. We are in Whitfield, Virginia, and at the Flying J over here. It's rainy. It's foggy. And, yeah. Oh, hello, Heather Burke. I am kind of handsome, aren't I? Well, I can't do a good show without bringing on a very special guest who completes the show and makes it funny, and that is Mr. Johnny Rogers. Let's welcome Johnny Rogers onto the show.
Yeah! Hello, everybody. It's the infamous Mr. Rogers.
That's right. Hollywood Johnny.
Hollywood Johnny, where it's sunshiny and warm today. How are you all doing, folks?
Yeah, good. Hey there, Don. Good morning, Don. Yeah, what have you been up to? What's going on there, Mr. Johnny Rogers? It's been a minute or two since we've had our little show going.
Other than getting old and fat and being a truck driver and breaking my toes at the kids' house, not much. Yeah.
That's about what his toes like. Here's his feet, and here's his toe. It's like, burr, out here somewhere.
Other than that, ain't much going on.
Now, did you break your toe, or did Brooke break your toe because you weren't listening?
Well, we're just going to plead the fifth, okay?
Okay, that's what I kind of thought. That's what I kind of thought. Oh, yeah, you should have went, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, heck. Wow. Yeah, so nothing really new. I guess where you guys at today?
Shit, I don't remember. We're in,
yeah, I think you said Illinois somewhere.
Illinois somewhere, yeah.
No,
Illinois.
in Missouri.
Missouri, yes.
That's right.
We're at a little truck stop. It's actually a really cool little place, folks. It's got a nice little restaurant in it and a little store. It's a really good little place. They've got a lot of antique trucks and a display of toy trucks and stuff. That's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh, the sun's out.
Yeah. See? That's how bright it is.
Well, we're not up to much. We're on our way out to West Orange, New Jersey, out to a Burlington coat factory that's replacing a Macy's out there. So if anybody's from the West Orange, New Jersey area, there is a former Macy's back lot, I guess it was called, store, and it's being replaced by a Burlington coat factory. So we're taking out the shelving out there, which I love because I'm getting 8.5 miles to the gallon because I've only got 14,000 pounds on.
Nice.
So I am liking that.
Right?
Gas prices are right now because, everybody knows that gas prices are going, up. And I was talking to Johnny earlier about this, about how, I don't know if you've noticed, maybe the viewers have noticed too, the fuel prices have kind of stopped rising, and in some places they're actually going down because I think Texas was under $5 a gallon in some spots.
Yeah, I have seen them going down, but I think that's just the calm before the storm. I think that they'll eventually go back up again. I think it's just a political stunt to, try to make yourself look better in the people's eyes.
This hand while they're doing something with this hand?
Exactly. Yeah. But, that's just like quick note on what the Supreme Court did with the EPA. Went in and told them, look, you guys have no authority to create law, so stop. You're done. Yeah,
Right.
that's a win for us on the trucking side. Because the EPA had their they were so far up our ass, as I'll say, that we couldn't breathe. With everything that they
Right. Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah. Well,
They,
and I think we have to, and I know that there's some people out there trying to figure out that, okay, well, if the EPA doesn't have the authority to do, certain things or or make laws, and regulatory actions without the approval of Congress and Congress doing something, how does that affect the DEF systems? Because that wasn't a law that was passed when the DEFs were implemented by Obama. It was actually just a rulemaking by, or just a rule, I guess, by the EPA. And like you said, with the Supreme Court ruling, that may negate the fact that we, have to have DEF system in our trucks, because now it has to go to Congress to have Congress, you know, uh, draft a bill saying that we have to have that. So,
right. I think it also opens the door on older trucks, because they were trying to say that you couldn't have a truck, 2012 or older, running around. But there's plenty of trucks that are running around that are 2012 or older that are still blowing just as clean emissions as some of these new trucks are blowing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's definitely trucks out of there that are actually burning. Their exhaust is cleaner than the cars.
Yes, yes. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be a big area that we need to keep an eye on, because that's going to open up a lot of different controversies and ideas and things. That's just like another topic, real quick, is what California did about the leasers that were leasing trucks from the big companies out there.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna
I think
get into that and see if I could pull it up real quick while you're talking about
I
it. Go
think
ahead.
that's going to affect productivity in certain areas for a little bit. Um, I do feel bad for the drivers that have lost their jobs, because that is a hard thing to do, especially when you put in all that time and blood and sweat and money into, that truck, hoping that it's going to be yours.
I mean, have you seen some of those trucks out there? I mean, those guys put a lot of money into those old cab overs and stuff like that. And, what is it? 70,000 truckers were out of a job like that overnight.
Yeah. So now you got a truck that you own sitting in your yard that you were leased onto a company, and you can't do that anymore. Or you were leasing a truck from a company and you can't do that anymore. I think they should have went back and looked at it a little bit different to kind of figure out a better way to go at it. I do agree that these companies need to absorb the cost that they were turning and giving to these lease operators and stuff, because the company was making money hand over fist. But I think there was a better way of possibly going and doing it.
Right. Well, Richard Rubido brought up a comment. Electric will take over in time. To that, I'm going to say not anytime soon, because the infrastructure that would have to be set up for electric trucks is at least a 40-year project. Because, I mean, that would mean that every truck stop would have to be converted to electric, to get rid of the diesel pumps, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to not do that. Also, I mean, there's parking issues that we have right now, and if you've got a truck that's charging for 10 hours, another truck's going to have to wait 10 hours to get into that spot or wait for an open spot. So, I mean, right now it's a logistical infrastructure nightmare to even start that. That's why you haven't heard anybody starting that, kind of project, because these trucks, even the Tesla trucks, are 350 to 500 miles is a battery life. And the only reason that it's a battery life for 500 miles, that's if you're in city traffic, because the brakes, whenever you apply the brakes, is what repowers those batteries. So if you're on a stretch of highway and you're running 350 miles, you're going to run out. Well, then you got to stop and charge that thing. So every 350 miles, you got to stop and charge for 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever. You'll never get anywhere, and nobody will make any money.
Well, and look at how few charging stations you see for these Teslas already. They're just off in a little corner. You might see 10, 12 charging stations, and that's it. That's it. And you don't see them all over.
Well, no, and the thing about it is, these charging stations aren't free. When people go charge their cars up, they have to pay for this stuff.
Yep.
It's not free just because you got an electric car.
Yep.
And it takes coal and a lot of fossil fuels to produce that energy to charge that thing. But here's the thing too that I've been seeing, that a lot of these charging ports are at gas stations where they have agreements with Tesla, and there's been some on like TikTok and stuff to where Tesla's not paying the bill. They're not paying the rental bill, and these gas stations are saying, nope, we're not doing it. And they'll block them off to where nobody can use it. So, what happens in those cases,
Then you go get your extension cord.
Right. But to get back to the whole California thing, I mean, with that, it's going to cause a supply issue on the west coast of the United States, I do believe. Because
I agree.
The port of LA is one of the largest operating ports with the most commodities in the United States flow out of that port.
Yeah.
And if you ain't got trucks to move it, that's 70,000 trucks you ain't got to move. I have read to where there's a lot of these shipping containers are making deals with Houston, Mobile, Florida, New York, stuff like that, to where they don't have those restrictions on the trucks, and they're going to start going over there to try to make up. But that's going to affect a lot of the supply on the west coast of the United States, because there's not going to be that's 70,000 extra drivers off the road that can't move that container freight. So they will see a shortage over on the west coast.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And it's going to make it hard because they also implemented a law in LA County that you can't go to any subdivisions or park a truck in any subdivisions. So if you've got to go pick up a load or go through a subdivision to get to where your customer is, you can't do it.
I did read that. It was in LA County. It was a city in LA County that was over by the port, which is the main thoroughfare going through the port.
Yep.
Yeah, and they did an emergency declaration banning all trucks, and it's like, okay, well, where are they supposed to go? Where they got wings? You've got an overpass that goes into the port where they won't touch the city. I mean, how do they get to the customers that are in residential areas? Because there are warehouses in residential areas in the. So it's they're, what's that old saying? They're chopping off their nose to spite their face.
Yeah.
So,
well, the conspiracy theory in me, I'm not going to shy away from saying it. You take away the supply and the demand. Now, what do you got? You're dependent on the government.
Right. And the thing about it is a lot of the, what I've been hearing is that there's a thing called the Great Reset. You ought to look it up, read about it. And what it is trying to reset capitalism to be more socialist capitalism, to where the only ones that benefit is the government and the elites who have control. And, they will, it's kind of like China. Everybody says communist China. Well, I'm sorry, but China wouldn't be anywhere without capitalism, and that's the only thing keeping China going on right now is the capitalism part of them. So you can close it. So, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. I guess what we can do is, um, I guess, what time is it right now? Let's go ahead and segue into the first commercial. When we come back, we'll get on topic about men's health. Last month with Men's Health Month, we kind of bypassed that with everything going on. Then we figured we'd go back and touch that, and we'll touch men's mental health in that. So, Jed, let's go ahead and run that first set of commercials. Hey, this is Pat.
And this is Heather.
For the Misadventures of Pat and Heather. Come check us out on our stream. We are unpredictable, unscripted, and un-PC.
What?
Oh yeah, that's Tinkerbell too. You might be able to see her too. So come check us out. Only on Trucking Life. We're back, everybody.
One thing I do have to say here, folks. I saw a commercial on there. By the way, your guys' commercial is awesome, Pat. I love your guys' commercial.
You better say that.
The commercial for the Pink Panther, who we all know as Angela Clark. I'd just like to say, folks, she lost her ex-mother-in-law the other day, passed away. And she is in California right now taking care of funeral arrangements. So, I think at the end of the show, I'll take a moment of silence for her,
I think we got something for that, don't we? I don't know. I think Jen said
I hope we do. I just thought I would throw that out there, just a moment of silence to remember. Life is too short, it goes by quick.
We're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Exactly. But with that being said, go ahead, Pat. Take it away, man.
All right. That's right. Here we go. Well, last month was Men's Health Month, and that encompasses, mental health also, along with, our health and stuff like that. So, I figured we'd, come back on that and see, we both have been in trucking for a while, and, our health isn't, we're not poster boys for, good health or anything. So I figured we'd come and check that, discuss that and see how we do, how we handle our health, stuff like that. Let's see. I turned in. Oh, we appreciate that, Jacob. Well, let's go here. Now, this comes from Summit Medical Group. 4 important facts about men's health. Let's see. Number 1, men are less likely to seek health care than women. Let's see here. Men tend to exhibit a fear of diagnosis. About 21% of men admit to avoiding the doctor because they're afraid of what the doctor's going to tell them. Also, prostate cancer affects 1 in 9 men, and that's a big deal. The American Cancer Society, there's about 175,000 new cases of prostate cancer diagnosed each year. And the prostate cancer is the most common cancer among American men. So, make sure you go to the doctor after 50 and, let's see. Mental health. Fact 3, mental health is one of the most stigmatized issues affecting men. The American Psychological Association reports that 30.6 percent of men have suffered from depression in their lifetime. Again, men hesitate to seek care, and maybe a worsening issue. Men are notorious for not talking about their feelings, and know that's not just another stereotype, that's an actual trend. Psychologists have documented in the eyes of many men discussing emotion is just another form of vulnerability that can lead to discomfort. It can be scary for many men to begin sharing their feelings, but the payoff is worth it. Men who express their feelings verbally are less likely to express them in other ways. Let's see, talking to men in their life, encouraging them to talk about their day, to tell you about their emotions, and to be open with you. They may be resistant at first, but persistence is powerful, and you'll be doing your part to improve men's mental health. And that's a big thing too. Before I go on to number 4, I mean, mental health in men is something that's not talked about. Some men feel like it demasculizes them, and says, "Hey, you know what? I can handle it on my own." We always hear about women's health this, women's health that, but you never hear about men's health. Nobody talks about men's health in any way, and that's a sad part. Let's see, I've got another thing here. Let me go to this here.
Well, men's health is, men are always taught to be strong. You need to be the strong one. You need to be the protector of your family.
Yep,
all that we're supposed to suck it up. Because if we don't, we're always taught that shows sign of weakness. And that is bred into us to where that's all we know. And then when you go without nobody, really asking how you're doing, or just, your solitude like we are on the truck, you learn to just take your problems and the issues and just push them down and tell everybody, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I can do this. I got this, and then it boils over, and it festers so much that you can't take it, and it's sad that most men look at it that way, because our mental health is just as important as a woman's mental health, a child's mental health. It's just as important. But like you said, you hardly ever hear anybody talk about it, hardly at all.
Well, yeah. The problem is, when in a lot of marriages, let's say the guy's out working all day, comes home, the woman's out working, and she comes home and just wants to talk about how her day sucked and this and all. But then you don't talk about, your husband. Is that being selfish? No, it's unfortunate how society is, and how men don't talk about it. I've gone to therapy myself. My wife's going to therapy. I know Brooke's gone to therapy in the past.
I'm going to therapy. Yep.
Yep, and you're going to therapy, and I think, even behind the scenes there, the Jedi, he's gone to therapy too, and I believe Sarah also. And the thing about it is, anybody who goes to therapy, once they start going and get more into a regular rhythm of going to it, it seems to help them.
Yes.
The great, well, I wouldn't call him the great, but Howard Stern, the big celebrity that he is, goes to therapy twice a week.
Twice a week, yep.
Twice a week. And even a celebrity, needs therapy and stuff like that. So the stigma of, talking about your feelings and stuff like that, yes, the society doesn't care about men. They don't care that, we have, there's a gap between genders. One of the biggest ones is the biological factors is Why do men lag? Well, sexual chromosomes, hormones, reproductive anatomy, metabolism, that all affects, our thought process. Social factors are work stress, lack of social networks, and support. And that's a big thing is support. There's really no support out there for men. Um, you know, let's take domestic violence. I'm a victim of domestic violence. Okay, I was in a bad marriage for a long time, and no one would listen. No one cared what I had to say. There was no outlets for me, to seek any help. And people would be surprised, but 18% of domestic violence cases, men are the victims. And that's a big number, especially in the United States. 18% of all men and 18% of domestic violence cases, the men are the victims, but where's the help? Where is the, they have these places that women can go for protection against their domestic violence abuser if it's a man. But where can men go? There's no places for men to go, so they have to put up with it. When you call the cops and you tell the cops, hey, you call 911 and said, yeah, my wife or whatever's beating me, they find out you're a man, well, they're not going to take you serious. They might send a cop out, but they're not going to, do anything about it. Trust me. And this comes from experience. My first wife, I called the cops on her. They didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, the cops will ask you, well, look at how big you are and look how small she is. You could.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're taught not to strike a female. So 90% of us men, when a female is attacking us, we're not going to fight back because we're taught that it is wrong. So it is drove into our brain not to fight back, and we don't.
Right, because the thing about it is, we could be with a domestic partner who is just beating the living crap out of us. Using let's say a baseball bat or anything, and but the moment we try to defend ourselves, and let's say we punch her and knock her out,
it's our fault.
We're going to jail.
Yep.
Oh, you should have walked away. Oh, you should have got in your car and left. Come up with every excuse why it's your fault. But, if the roles were reversed, don't you dare try to make the woman the victim. Or don't you dare try to make yourself the victim and not the woman. It's like, I've never understood that. Society's got to change their look at men. We die at a higher rate. We have than women. We die earlier than women. We are more likely to come down with terminal diseases than women. We suffer from more mental health issues than women. We can have more medical issues in general. Men die of heart attacks more than women. Stress, all kinds of stuff. A behavioral factor for men is risky behavior, aggression or violence, smoking, alcohol and substance abuse, lack of exercise, and lack of routine medical care. And that's a big thing too. The medical care is like, and unfortunately, too many men don't take care of themselves. Either go to the dentist or go into the doctor itself. And by the time they do, well, then it's too late.
Too late. Yep.
Your mouth is either infected because you haven't gone to the dentist. Which led to heart issues, which a lot of people don't realize that infections in your mouth can lead to heart attacks, and a lot of people don't realize that.
It can make you sick all sorts of ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even though we get a DOT physical, we're still not the healthiest people. We still don't go to the doctors because those DOT physicals, they really don't delve into what's going on. They don't do blood work. They don't do any of that stuff. It's kind of reach down, touch your toes, take your blood pressure, and sometimes they'll try to pull the sleep apnea garbage, which that's garbage in itself. I'm not saying that it doesn't help everybody, you know, and then diabetes. I mean, diabetes is one of the biggest killers out here of truck drivers, untreated diabetes. So yeah, I know people out there that eat nerds, clusters, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's never good.
That's me. That's me. But I am diabetic, folks. But I have a regimen where I try to watch what I do Monday through Friday, and my doctor said that the weekends can be mine. So I try to pay attention to how I eat, and I've actually gotten mine under control. But it took my wife. I will give total credit to my wife about this. It took her, making me go to the doctor and making me, start opening my eyes to this stuff, because I would have never done it. I would have never even done it. I would have just kept right on going, probably died in my early 60s, late 50s, because of my wife, pushing me and urging me to do a lot of these things is why I've done it, and men sometimes need a little push, because we are stubborn. A shove, a big shove, push us with a Mack truck, because some of us aren't going to take the initiative to do it ourselves because we just don't see the need, because we've got so much other things going on, taking care of the family, going to work, making sure the car's running, the lawn's mowed, walking in the door, and everybody needs to know how each other's day went. But when your husband comes home from work and he first walks in the door, or your boyfriend or fiance, don't bombard him with, all the shit that's gone wrong for the day in your day. Let your husband or your fiance or whoever walk in the door and take a few minutes to decompress, because when he comes home from work, that is where he decompresses at for a minute. He wants to just go sit in his chair, grab a glass of water, or open a cold beer, whatever he does. Yeah. And just decompress for a minute. Just give us that minute.
As he opens the door. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you should have done this. Oh, why didn't you do this? Whoa, hold on. Let me get in the door.
Nothing against females, nothing against women.
No.
We need a moment to decompress.
In their head, society, hey, he doesn't have anything going on that's, whatever. Even if a man comes in, and he plops down in his chair, starts playing his video game, maybe that's his way of decompressing. Leave him alone. It's not that he's trying to ignore you. He's trying not to kill you. That's why he's doing it. He let him get things off his mind, and a lot of times you'll see your life is much better. And one thing, like with me, I mean, I've got tempers. A lot of you may or not know that, but I've got a temper at times. And the one thing that Heather knows that my ex-wife, my late ex-wife, didn't care, was if we get into an argument and I'm pissed off or whatever, leave me alone. Don't sit there and poke the bear. In about 15 minutes, I'll either come back and say I'm sorry, or everything will be calmed down and everything will be nice. But unfortunately, there's too many people that, just want to sit there and nag, and push the bear, poke that bear, and then wonder why the person got all pissed off, And it's kind of like, just, we're men, we're human beings. And too many people forget that we are human beings too.
And we're individuals. Not everybody works the same. Just because one person, might want to talk it out right away, just get it completely out right there on the spot. Some of us, okay, we get the concept. Give us a few minutes and we'll come back to it. Not all of us come back to it. I have anger issues. I'll be the first to admit it, There are sometimes. No, not me. You know,
Okay, I didn't think
never
you
have anger issues. You know, I'm Mr. Hollywood John. You know,
did. Hollywood Johnny.
um, you know, I have a hard time apologizing. You know, and you know, I'll be the first to admit it. But I also have a hard time when somebody starts getting mad at you and you know and then you're supposed to answer, but yet they're screaming and yelling at you, you know, because you know you supposedly did this or that wrong, and you just walked in the door, you know, and
Right.
you're like, wait, what did I do? You know, hold
Yeah.
on a minute, you know, I was at work. How did I do that? You know,
Well, and the thing about it too, you know, what a lot of women, you know, don't realize, you know, and this is not a bashing a woman thing. This is not what this is. But I mean, if you have things on your mind all day at work, your husband has those same things on their mind too that they're worried about. You know,
Yep.
so if it affects your mood, it's going to affect their mood too. You know, so just keep that in mind sometimes. You know, this is coming from the CDC. Nearly 9% of U.S. men reported daily feelings of anxiety or depression, but the rate differed by race and ethnicity. About 4 in 10 men with daily feelings of anxiety or depression took medication for those feelings or talked to a mental health professional. Now, that's only 4 in 10. You know, that's not a big amount of men who are actually actively treating their anxiety or depression. And it goes back to the stigma again of, hey, you know, if you're going to be talking about your feelings, well, then you're just a pussy. And you can't.
Yep.
You might as well just go ahead and kill yourself now because you're just a pussy. Well, killing yourself does not solve anything, and it only creates problems for the ones you leave behind. And if at any time anybody that watches this from now until they stop showing it on Facebook, you know, right there, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you feel anything, call that number. Point down. Yeah, just point down.
Right there.
Up a little. Go to the top of the screen.
Right
Point
there. There it is.
Hey, all right. But yeah, call that number at any time. If you don't want to call that number, we got the Truckers Talk line up there. You know, we advertise right there. Call them. You know, just talk to somebody, because you'd be surprised how easy it is to talk to somebody. And let me tell you something, when it comes to men's health and mental health, it's not just age-based. There was a story from a little boy, a 12-year-old boy, that happened a couple of weeks ago. He went into
himself with his hoodie.
And he hung himself with his favorite hoodie from his bed. So it's not just an age thing. You know, if you got kids, grandkids, what have you, you see, and be aware. Look at their behavior. The signs are there. A lot of parents go, well, I didn't see the signs, or there were no signs. Oh, the signs were there. You just didn't pick up on them. You know, get online, educate yourself about it. You know, there's plenty of websites out there that will help you realize the signs so that you know what to look for, you know, so that you might be able to prevent some of this. Let's see. You know, and let's see, among men aged 18 to 44, racial and ethnic differences in the use of mental health treatments were significantly greater for men without health insurance coverage than for men with health insurance. And if that's the thing too, where you say, well, I ain't got health insurance and I don't know if my health insurance will cover mental health, just about 99% of all health insurance covers mental health. And if you can't get help through your health insurance, just walk into a health clinic. Any health clinic in your city or county or state has ways to get you the help you need. You know, if you feel like you're at that point where you just want to end it all, walk into an emergency room and they will treat you. They won't turn you away. By law, they're not allowed to turn you away, especially for that. So, you know, so, well, let's see, it's 12:40. Jed, I think that we have a special thing from the Pink Panther that we should go ahead and roll, and then we'll come back and talk some more. So.
Come check out our new website at www.truckinglife.live and get to know some of the people you pass by on the interstates. The truckers who've committed their career to moving commodities by way of an 18-wheeler, also known as a semi-truck. At Trucking Life, our passion is showing the world how it all gets moved from here to there, and that we are doing. On our website, you'll find live streamers and the links to their pages, podcasts, blogs, photo galleries, videos, live shows, and so much more. And for all the truckers and trucking enthusiasts, you can check out our merchandise. Our VIP fan club, as well as industry training, public service announcements, partner links, and a growing database of information. Our passion is showing the world how it all gets moved from here to there. Our business is doing it with class. Come join the tribe at Trucking Life and see what our new website is all about.
Have you ever thought of live streaming your life behind the wheel? Trucking Life is currently looking for live streamers. Contact us at truckinglife.live@gmail.com for info on how to become part of our growing team of live streamers. Trucking Life, showing the world how it all gets moved from here to there.
Oh, look, there's Tinkerbell.
What are you doing,
There's
Steve?
Tinkerbell. Say hi to your friends. Say hi to your fans. What up? All right.
She's like, whatever.
I guess
Dad.
we'll play that thing for the next commercial break. We'll play that thing, special thing that the Pink Panthers got set up. But yeah, so I know that I had something in here, and I gotta see if I can find it. Knowing me, I probably got rid
that
of it
him
'cause
thinking there that he had something. That's the memory loss because of the brain loss, because he's getting old. That's all that is.
Yeah, hell. No, and again, we got the trucker talk line right there. The suicide line. Please, just if you even know anybody, give them these numbers. Suicide is, I believe, the number 2 killer out here of truck drivers. You'd be very surprised how many truck drivers in their own life out here. I can remember of an incident where, and it disgusts me, there was a driver he was on, and this happened probably 10, 15 years ago, something like that. He was on the CB, and he was depressed. I mean, this is a very depressing job. And he was on his CB, and he just wanted somebody to talk to. And he said that he felt like killing himself. There were drivers on there saying, "Kill yourself. Just do it. Nobody cares anyhow. Quit being a baby. Just kill yourself." He wound up killing himself in his truck on the CB.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, it's like, unfortunately, at the time, a lot of people think that, suicide's the answer. I mean, my wife's aunt, she would always talk about she couldn't understand how people could kill themselves. Even the year prior to her killing herself, there was, I guess somebody had killed themselves close that we knew. And she said, I never can understand why somebody can kill themselves. And unfortunately, she had been drinking, and she just, told the person on the phone, I'm going to do it, went into the closet and did it. And it doesn't, and the thing about it is, they don't realize the trauma, the heartache, the emptiness and loneliness they leave for the people that are left here. to deal with. They think, hey, my feelings are all gone. I don't have to worry about it no more. People go, when somebody, well, they don't have to suffer anymore. But we all do.
Yep, we're suffering for them.
Yeah, they created suffering for us, and all they really did was pass their suffering on to the loved ones they left behind. So suicide is not the answer, everybody. Mental illness is, please, don't think you're Billy Badass. We all cry, we get depressed. I mean, we're all sad. We can get lonely at times. Go seek treatment. It's just really,
Well, I learned from my wife that and I'm going to say this, it sounds bad when I say, a real man cries, a real man will go get help. But it's true. It's true. When you walk into a truck stop, me and the wife, we look around at all the drivers sitting in there, and you can tell who is not having a very good day. You can see it all over their face. You can just see it. And sometimes just a simple hello, how are you doing, will start a conversation with somebody, and you might learn that day that they had such a bad day that they didn't know how to cope with it, and because you took that second to say hello to them and open that line of communication, made their whole day better, and you might have just stopped them from committing suicide. You don't know.
I mean, when I first started, and at the truck stops, they used to have, the booths, the tables around where drivers could sit next to each other and talk.
Yeah.
And drive. Yeah. I mean, we would say the most outlandish bullshit stories in the world. Yeah. From telling the cop to F off, which we knew was true, to all kinds of dumb stories. But now, if you go into a truck stop, you don't see drivers sitting together. Drivers are sitting by themselves. They're buried in their phone. They're
buried in their box. Yep.
And that's the biggest thing too. Even during COVID, I mean, suicide rates went sky high during COVID, and they accelerated more in youth than it did adults, because they didn't have that interaction with people. They didn't have that communication with people. And but the thing about it is, where's Congress? When was the last time a bill was passed that had anything to do with mental illness by Congress?
Yeah. Yep.
They won't touch it. They want to throw, pills at people. They want to throw, oh, well, why did this person do this? I mean, take the July 4th shooting in Highlands Park. I'm sorry. He was mentally ill. Straight up mentally ill. Let's figure out why. When it comes to, and I know this is a touchy subject, but when it comes to pedophiles, why are we just throwing them in jails and putting them in the corner? Let's figure out why. There's a mental illness issue going on right there. Let's figure out what's causing it, what the problem is. But the stigma is, you're a pedophile, we're going to just throw you in a corner and leave you alone. Well, they did the same thing with gay people. Back in the day growing up, if you were gay and you were thrown in jail and put in a corner, and you were a freak.
Yep, forgot about it because you're a freak. Yep.
Nobody wanted to address it, and that's the big thing too in this country. Mental illness is so touchy. Nobody wants to touch it. Like I said, I mean, I don't know the last time that I've even heard a president, in the handful of presidents I've been around for, that even brought up anything about mental illness and really seriously talked about it. And so I think it's time to grab the tiger by the tail and let's have a discussion. Let's figure this out. Because I think a lot of the problems in society is the key component is mental illness. There's a disconnect somewhere that we need to find out how to connect it. And
because we disconnect from our families being truck drivers, and going to work every day, even if you go to work and you go home, that time you're at work, you disconnect from your family, and all you're doing is working. So that's all your brain knows is work, 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 work. So when you come home, you have to reconnect to your family, and like you said, people that have mental illness, they want to give you drugs, put you in a straitjacket, and throw you in a round room and leave you there because that's where they feel you're going to be the safest. But you know what? Let us talk about our feelings. Let us tell you how we feel instead of just, saying, well, it doesn't matter, or here's this drug, or, go stand over here in this corner. No, bullshit. Sometimes we need to talk too. We're men, we're human, just like everybody else. We need to talk. And that's all we want.
Somebody, could make the difference in whether you talk about the person in the present or that loved one in the past.
Look at me and you. Look at me and you for an example. There are days when you're having a rough day, or I'm having a rough day, and we call each other and we'll talk to each other about it. Or I'll be talking to you and I can tell when you're having a rough day. Don't give me that stink eye. Don't give me that stink eye. It's true. Many times we've asked each other, you okay? What's wrong? And we've told each other about the rough day we're having. And just having somebody to talk to, picking up that phone, just saying, hey, do you got a minute to talk? Can mean the world to anybody. Just gotta do it.
Just because we're on this platform, and you viewers out there, let me tell you something. A lot of you guys don't know our personal lives, and you would be surprised how many of us out here on this platform, on this trucking life, have mental health issues right now that we're all dealing with. There's, and mental health issues or range from a lot of things. You guys have got issues going on. I know that Missy's got issues. Mother Trucker's got issues going on. Margaret. Everybody. We all have issues going on in our life, and it's not hunky dory. And we'll get on here, put on a brave face, and you'll see us on our when we stream and stuff like that. That hey, when that camera goes off, those problems are still there, even though you may not see them when we're live.
But doing those live streams for us, folks, also gives us a chance to breathe for a few minutes and kind of get out of our own heads and so that we can go back to the problems that we have going on in our own lives, and we can kind of sit down and get a little more grasp, a little more hold of what's going on, So those live streams, that you see where we're just peachy keen, happy, everything's green and everything's going good, that is kind of an escape route for us all to just kind of breathe, take a moment in for ourselves, and then like Pat said, when the camera goes off, we have to go back to the real world, but we go back to the real world calm, and we're able to reapproach our problems with a little bit better mind thought, because we've taken the time to just kind of breathe.
Think about something else.
Got to breathe and think about something else once in a while. I BK, for an example, okay? BK, he's very close, very dear. He has his struggles. And the other day, I challenged him to a challenge. Every day, take a picture of something beautiful that's going on around you every day. And his first picture, for an example, where he parks his car at his work, there's flowers right next to where he parks. He never noticed the beauty of those flowers until the other day when I challenged him to this challenge, and he saw the pictures and he took a picture of them, and he said in his comments, he says, he said, I park here every day and I never understood or never saw a way these flowers, and how beautiful they are. I say that to everybody that's watching, all our viewers. That's a challenge that I put out to everybody. you may have problems going up in here, and you may have problems with your life during the day. But my challenge to everybody is stop, take a picture of something that's going on around you, the beauty that's around you. Take a moment to take in the beauty that you actually have in front of your eyes, instead of looking at all the evil and all the non-doing bullshit that's going on out here in this world. Stop for just a moment and take a look at the beauty that actually surrounds you. There is so much out there to look at and to see, to help you just breathe for a minute.
Right.
It's amazing. It's
oh
amazing.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem. Too many people live like this,
in a box. Yes.
They just live like this. Well, hey, stop, look around, turn your head.
Yes.
You might be able to see something different, in your life.
Like I told BK, everybody has this little safe box, and they stay in this little safe box because that's where they feel safe. But they're not safe in that box because that's the wrong safe box, Pat.
Yeah, exactly.
Safe box, all you're doing is rethinking your bad thoughts all the time. They're constantly racing in your mind. In that little teeny box that you think is your safe haven is not your safe haven, folks. You have to get out of your own mind. And in order to do that, you have to do what? Think outside the box. So if you look at what's going on around you and the beauty that's around you, it forces you and makes you think outside that box. So you're not rethinking those bad thoughts all the time, over and over and over again. Or call those the National Suicide Hotline, guys. Right there where Pat's pointing his big fat banana finger. Call that. Call that number. Truckers Talk Line. It's gonna help. But the first thing you got to do is you got to help yourself. You have to love yourself in order to help yourself. Because if you love yourself, you're going to be able to help yourself. And if you can start helping yourself that way first, by thinking outside the box and looking at the beauty that is actually out there, you're going to find it easier to maybe talk to somebody or call the Truckers Talk Line or the National Suicide Line, or anything that you have to do to make it easier for you. You just got to think outside that box, folks. Please.
Well, and I'll say another thing too. If you don't want to call a hotline and talk to somebody, there's one person that will always hear what you have to say, and that's God. You don't have to be religious to pray. You don't have to be religious for Him to listen to you. You take 5 minutes. Pray.
Yep.
What can it hurt? There was and I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, it's on TikTok right now. There was a Satanist priest. He was one of the leaders of the Satanic church over in England. He performed a ritual, a satanic ritual or whatever. And, this is just recently. And he said that Jesus appeared to him. And it changed his entire life. I see a big finger. And he said, it changed his life, and this is a guy who's a Satanist. I mean, you can find it online, Satanist priest sees Jesus and changes life. And it was a pretty good little testimonial. You just check it out. Let's go through the comments real quick before we, go on to the last little commercials there. I kind of like the firefighters. They have to have themselves safe before they can save others. Great show from that. Lori Leach says beauty and humor. Your mind will go to what you're focusing on, Jed, and that's very true.
Very true.
If you're looking for the worst, that's all you're going to find.
That's all you're going to find.
If you're looking for racism, that's all you're going to see.
And that's why I put that challenge out to our viewers. You know, take a picture every day of something you see, you know, and post it, you know, and you'll be amazed at how it'll make you feel. Yeah, how good it'll make you feel.
Yeah, Jed said over here, the Jedi says, got to communicate these things so our significant others know how we all work. And that's very true.
Yes.
And Dawn Nadim said a good thing here, too. She said, Pat, I'll never get you your blueberry muffins. No, I'm kidding. She goes, a man's biggest worry is the home front when they are away. And that's true.
Yes.
Things that are going on at home is still going on in our minds. You know, we got to do this. I mean, we've got, you know, we're going home in August, but my kids and Heather's kids are coming in September. And I'm worrying about things in September, you know, and here we are in July. You know, so I mean, you know, we're constantly going here. But
I leave the house as soon as I leave the house after taking time off, I'm already thinking about what I got to do when I go back home.
Right,
yeah, it never stops. Never.
Yep. So, well, let's go ahead and do this. Jed, I think we got some commercials to run, and I think this time. You know, might be something with the Pink Panther, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's at the end. So we'll do that. We'll come back and say goodbye because I got to get to New Jersey. So with that, go ahead, Jed.
Walk with me a moment while I introduce you to myself, my husband, and our trucking fur babies. Here on Trucking Life and our public page, Livin' Lovin' Truckin', you'll find us, Johnny and Brooklyn, aka Team Rogers, as well as our doggies, Jack and Brutus. We use our platform pages to show the world our life as team truck drivers who haul freight with our truck and a step deck trailer all around the lower 48 of the United States. As you follow our adventures, you'll get to know us on a very personal level. You'll see the lifestyle of a truck driver and the daily grind that we go through, including the beautiful scenery, the sunsets, the sunrises, the loading, the unloading, the ups, the downs, and all the in-between. You'll share in our emotions as we work, we laugh, we play, we live, we love, and we truck up and down these interstates. You'll ride with us as we make new friends and we make new memories. As we educate the public on interacting with semis on the road, you'll see that over-the-road trucking is an all-encompassing and often misunderstood lifestyle. We welcome you to join us on our adventures. Come be a part of our growing online family of followers. Together, Johnny and I will share with you how commodities are moved from creation to consumer and why the world depends on those of us who have chosen to move freight for a living. We are truckers. We are humans. We have families. Friends. And friends we call family. So come chat with us as we work to show the world how it all gets moved from here to there. Team Rogers, forever living, loving, and trucking through this trucking life.
I'm not crying because it was so nice. I'm crying because you assholes didn't put us in there.
Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus. But you know
Any
what?
fans?
Yeah, well, but to be honest with you, out there, at the end of the day, no matter what you're going through, if you think you're alone, you're loved. Even though we don't see you, we may not talk to you, you may not say anything, but, we love you guys out there. You are loved. And right there, Truckers Talk Line, the suicide prevention hotline, you're not alone. We do love each and every one of you guys. So please, don't take it to that extreme. There's nothing that bad that you need to, end it on. Before we get out of here, I just want to pass on, uh, you know, um, yeah, that commercial was very well produced. Yes. I wonder who did it, Jedi. But yeah, I want to just out there send out thoughts and prayers to Angela Clark and her family. We're thinking about you, and to the other streamers out there that have got some things going on that are kind of changing their life with, pretty much without notice. Johnny, you got anything to say before we end it?
Yeah, just remember, guys. Like I said, just take a moment to look around, see the beauty, and I challenge all our viewers and everybody to that challenge of taking a picture every day of something beautiful and posting it, and posting what it means to you. You know, um, give a little comment on what it means. You will be amazed at how it'll make you feel. And if you see one of us out on the highway or happen to see one of us in the truck stop somewhere, don't ever be afraid to stop and say hi and ask if we've got a minute. Because you know what, folks? We always got a minute. I always have a few minutes to take time to say hi.
Yeah, send us a message.
Yes.
Send us a
Yes.
private message. Hey, you got time to talk? Hey, I'm having a rough time. And I can't find anybody. And if we're awake, we'll call you. I mean,
Yeah,
Heather,
because for us, that also gives us somebody to talk to and interact with. So, also, folks, a big shout out to Angela Clark. She, is going through some rough times right now. May everybody, keep her in their thoughts and prayers. And yeah, I don't have much more to say, but yeah, thanks for watching, folks.
I do have something to say to her boyfriend Steve. Blink twice if you're in danger. We are here to help. And with that, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to tune in next Sunday at 11 for Sunday Brunch. Who knows who's going to be on there, and make sure to stick around. There's a very special thing right after this in our credits, and make sure to also check out what's on the cup. So with that, we'll say goodbye, and Hollywood Johnny, see y'all next time.
I'll see you all next time on the flip side. Y'all be safe. May the good Lord watch over you.
You're watching TruckingLife.live. Thank you for being with us today. Please like, follow, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more great content. We'll see you out on the road.